Good morning, sport fans, and thank you for joining us on Talk Sports. Yes, it's Friday, a rainy Friday, and I'm looking all whitish with my cap, representing the Southwest, and I'm ready to get it deep with the top stories in the world of sports, ranging football, basketball, and every other sport that you can think of. So now, we're starting from the home front as always, because home sweet home, they always say, and this story coming up is not something really palatable or something you would like to hear, but still some persons will enjoy it. Account for 21 million FIFA money, Jala urged NFF, the Chairman Professional Football Association of Nigerian Task Force. Harrison Jala has charged Nigerian Football Federation to account for FIFA funds the body received from 2014 to 2024. Jala, in a statement on Thursday, said the World Football Body handed the NFF a total of $21.1 million in grants for 10 years, alleging that the money was misappropriated. He stated, "What happened to those funds from FIFA and CAF from 2014 to 2024? $8.6 million was allocated, $8.6 million 2014 World Cup grants, 10 million 2018 World Cup grants, and FIFA assisted program grants 2015 of $2.5 million. All these funds disappeared into thin air and translated into huge debts, outstanding hotel bills, and outstanding match bonuses to Super Eagles players, the Falcons, and the starter of the national team and coaches, without diligently providing how the NFF founded itself in this financial mess." The Honorable Minister of Sports, Senator John Enoch, convinced President Tinubu to release an inventional fund of 12 billion, which the president generously approved, even when the 12 billion was, to speak in all, alleged to have been misappropriated, with only 2 in the outstanding match bonuses and allowances has been paid so far. Jalala laments that despite receiving other grants from the world body, the NFF had no project to show for themselves. This is a very sad one, because players now have been complaining about the fact that bonuses are not being paid. Now more information reaching us that hotel bills and other bills are just being piled up, and while there are lots of monies that have been coming from UEFA, FIFA, and also other professional bodies, even from the federal government, just this year, 12 billion. January, when AFCON was ongoing, 12 billion was allocated to the Ministry of Sports and the NFF. So now we are asking lots of questions. Where are all of these monies? This money has been coming in since 2014, and we still have players still complain about one same thing, about the fact that match bonuses hasn't been paid, and their health are not being taken care of generously. So all of these effects now are more. This is what Harrison Ajala is clamoring for. We need a blueprint of how this monies are being spent. So all of this should the NFF and then Senator John should just come to light and explain to the people that, okay, this monies came in through, and then this was what it was used for. And since players have been coming out to agitate for match bonuses, the NFF or the Minister of Sports haven't come out to say, yes, we have paid this certain amount. So we want to know, are the players not being honest, or is the Ministry of Sport and the NFF not actually paying? There are lots of questions Nigerians are asking at this hour. But for Harrison, he is said and he's key to get to the root of this matter for a proper resolution of what all of these monies have been used for. That is coming from Harrison, the chairman of Task Force of Nigerian Football Association. So moving on to another story. Contender Joseph joined Tennessee in NCCA African Games, All African Games medalist, contender Ekanem, and new national women's 400 meters champion Esther Joseph has been signed by Tennessee Track and Field in National Congregate Athletic Association, USA. NCAA is a program which allows students to combine athletics and sports, and on scholarship as well, with this opportunity and transitioning into professional athleticism after their studies. Considered, and Joseph will be on the roster of the Tennessee Track and Field ahead of next season. Both athletes were winners for Nigeria at the 2023 All-African Games in Ghana. Contenders 20 claimed bronze in the men's 200 meter and added gold to it with the 400 meters 4x100 meter relay. He also set a personal best of 10.10 seconds in the 100 meter, which was the world lead as January. Joseph is Nigerian's new women's 400 meters champion, clocking 51.47 seconds. And to win her first national title at the Olympics Trail in Benin City last month. She held off the late charge from Patience Okon George, who finished second in 51.76 seconds, and Imabong Uko, who finished third in the season's best of 52.04 seconds. She won silver in the women's 400 and at the All African Games in Ghana, plus a gold medal in the women's 4x400 relay, as well as another gold in relays as the recent concluded African Championship in Cameroon. This is welcoming, and at this note, I'm going to say congratulations to Joseph Esther for this massive win and for joining NCAA. Lots of professional athletes ranging from Usain Bolt and a whole lot more that are coming have been able to have gotten themselves signed in by this program, and when they were there, they were able to transition professionally into athleticism. It's like a soft landing for them. So what's led to all of this? We saw how amazing these runners, these athletes were for Nigeria in Cameroon earlier in March, when they went for the All African Games, when they swept lots of medals, gold medals, silver medals, and bronze medals. They were all represented. Nigerian athletes, boxers, were all represented at the podium, aside from the football team of the under 17 football team were not represented on the podium, but every other athletes were represented for either bronze medal, gold, or silver. So this is congratulations to Joseph for this opportunity, and it's definitely going to open her to more. So the Nigerian flag will be flying all through the USA in Tennessee, as she'll be making rounds and running the tracks for herself and her country at large. So we'll be moving on, and I'll be taking you all the way to Thailand now, where Haruna battles Japanese star in Bangkok. Quadri Haruna, Africa's #1 sole representative at the WTT Star Contender Bangkok, is set to clash with Japanese player Yukinda Uda in the second round of men's single in Thailand. Haruna, rated as the #1 4 seed by the organizers, as a history with Uganda having narrowly defeated him 4-3 in a close contest match at Hong Kong Opener in 2018. Uganda already fired up by his victory against Portugal João Monteiro 3-2 in the first round, poses a formidable challenge for Haruna in his previous outing at the WTT star contender in Slovenia, Haruna faced another Japanese star, Sora Mushinma, and suffered a defeat. However, he remains motivated as he looks ahead to Paris 2024 Olympic Games scheduled to begin late this month in France. Beyond aiming for the first WTT title, Haruna is determined to accumulate ranking points that will elevate his stature when he draws for Paris Olympics Game men's single as announced. So this has been a back and forth between Haruna and a whole lot of Chinese persons who he has beaten some and as well, had a backlog and then lost some. As a 2014 African champion, has aimed to surpass his quarterfinal finish from Rio 2016 and become the first African player to reach the podium at the Olympics. So he is gunning for the Olympics, but first he has a stage, he has something he needs to crack, which is overcoming Thailand, that is the WTT. Now he has Uda, who is someone that he has beaten before. Then now Uda is going to come out with the firepower, given the fact that he has been able to, clinch a first win in his first round and then advance for the second round. Who Haruna Kadri now is already automatically, who also won and then advanced to the second round. So it's going to be a clash between these two giants. Haruna is experienced, very, very professional, very, very amazing, and African's #1, who is the sole representative for Africa. So he is not just carrying Nigeria on his shoulder, he's carrying the whole continent on his shoulder. So we are rooting for him and we are hoping to see him, wax great and then make Nigeria and Africa proud at WTT over there in Thailand. So before we get deep into the conversation of Olympics, let's come back home and have a little bit conversation about AFCON qualifiers. Yes, I brought it to your notice that yesterday a draw will be up for the AFCON qualifiers, which is set to kick off on the which is set to kick off next year. Yes. 2025 AFCON qualifiers. Nigeria fans worried as Super Eagles face Benin again. The battle of optimism and pessimism is on between Nigeria and Benin Republic as both countries were drawn in the same group for the 2025 AFCON qualifiers on Thursday in South Africa. Fresh from beating Nigeria 2-1 in 2026 in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers in June, the Super Eagles are drawn in Group D of the series, which also has Liberia and Rwanda, another team Nigeria's current 2026 FIFA World Cup group qualifying group. Next year, AFCON will held from December 21st, 2025 to January 18th, 2026, following the decision of CAF to adjust the schedule of the tournament due to the concurrent FIFA calendar. The six-match qualifying series have been surpassed over FIFA windows in September, October, and November with 2 matches. So all of this are just things that we are yet to see. Nigerians have concerns and which they are airing out in the sense that we have lost to, the cheaters just few weeks ago, 2-1 in Ivory Coast, and now we are being in the same group for the qualification of 2025 AFCON. Now, why are Nigerians a bit worried to see if the Super Eagles will be able to qualify? Because of the level of performance that we saw from them, and Gernot Rohr being the current coach who has also coached the Super Eagles, they feel he knows all Nigerians' tricks in the bag. But there's something else he probably don't know, or he does know, is that we are looking for a new coach and he might not know the tricks of that new coach. So over the FIFA window in September, October and November, with 2 matches in each 7 days window, the comprehensive fixtures are expected to be released by CAF soon. The Eagles 2-1 defeat in the hands of Benin Republic, who are managed by former coach of Nigeria, Gernot Rohr, was the last assignment the Eagles embarked on. It improves the demanding blow for the Eagles' World Cup chance, leaving them with 3 points from the games and 5th in Group C of the World Cup qualifiers. Coupled with another bad result in the last window, Finidi George also resigned as Eagles coach, and the Nigerian Football Federation are still hunting for a foreign technical advisor to replace the New Rivers United coach. Rwanda, on the other hand, are currently top of Nigerian's group in 2026 World Cup qualifiers with 7 points, same as South Africa and Benin. Nigeria and Rwanda are yet to meet on the road to USA, Canada, Mexico 2026, but will meet over 2 legs in 2025 and AFCON before the end of the year. So we're just hoping that, the same thing that happened in Ivory Coast, that is in June, wouldn't repeat itself with the Cheetahs. The Super Eagles have so much in stock. They have so much. The NFF, the Ministry of Sport, the players, they have so much on their plate right now. They need to get their acts ready. They need to get their house together, because if we don't get it right at this point, I don't see the Super Eagles qualifying. Yes, we have World Cup to prepare for, and now we are being in the group, the same group that beat us before, that beat the Super Eagles, yet not to qualify. So now we qualifying for USA, Canada, and Mexico 2026. It's a very, very slim chance. Now it's left for the NFF, the coaching crew, to be able to find a way to salvage the moment for Super Eagles and then excel more. So these are the angles we're all looking at, and we're hoping all of this positive response come. And what positive response are we hoping to see from the Super Eagles? We're hoping to see the Super Eagles travel and then win matches, because at this point we really need wins. We don't need draws. Without wins, there is no how the Super Eagles would be able to qualify for the Olympics, for World Cup 2026, I beg your pardon. So still moving on, there's someone that is on high spirit and is very, very key and has the momentum and the firepower, and he believes solely that the Eagles, Super Eagles, now talking about the Super Eagles, can get the World Cup qualification back on track. Dele Momodu, the Hotspurs midfielder, Fayose Dele Momodu, was impressive in his competitive debut for the Super Eagles last month, scoring an equalizer against South Africa in Uyo. The 23-year-old talks about why he chose England ahead of England. Chose England ahead of England, the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, and his team at Manchester City. In this interview with us, with our correspondent, you were eligible to represent England and Nigeria, to choose the latter. What informed your decision? I was born in Nigeria. I left Nigeria when I was 2 years old. I really remember much about Nigeria. The decision to play for Nigeria is because it's the country of my parents, and playing for Nigeria will make them proud. I have a lot of family here in Nigeria, so I just want to make everyone proud. That give me motivation as well. You scored your first goal against South Africa in the 2026 World Cup qualifier in Uyo. What was the feeling? So he was explaining how he felt and the main reason why he came to play for Nigeria. He is optimistic that yes, we are going to make it through. This is the momentum, and this is the firepower that we need at this point. Motivation, and positivity. This is what Super Eagles really need at this hour. So he wants to play for Nigeria. He had the options of either playing for England or Nigeria, and he chose motherland because he was born in Nigeria, and his family are Nigerians. His mom and parents are Nigerians. So he is not just doing it for himself, but he's doing it to make the country and family proud. That is so much, and this is super amazing from Dele Bashiru, who always remembers motherland. So kudos to the midfielder for his contributions thus far, given the fact that this was his first call-up to the Super Eagles. So the future is super bright for him. He's 23 years old, and he's also doing amazingly well in his club side. So kudos and congratulations to him. And Super Eagles, get your acts together. NFF, get us a very reliable coach that has track records, that we've seen what he has done, not what he said, she said. We want to see track records that yes, you've won trophies for a team and you've advanced countries deep. Someone that knows the football of Africa, the way it's played. All of those things are key. We need to know all of those information. So you need a coach, whether foreign advisor or local advisor. We need someone that has those massive knowledge about playing football in Africa, and someone that has also eyes for great and young talents from our Nigerian Professional League, and as well NNL. So moving on, a sad story now coming. Knee injury rules out Ayinde out of Olympics. The Super Falcons midfielder Halimat Ayinde has pulled out of the women's football event of 2024 Olympic Games due to a new injury sustained during the training section at her club, FC Regina Malopo, on Wednesday. The 29-year-old was one of the 18 players listed by coach Randy Wardron for the Dismedal Sports Fiesta, and announced by the Nigerian Football Federation on Wednesday. She broke the sad news in a statement on her Instagram page on Thursday, along with a picture of her left leg in a cast. She wrote, "It is with a heavy heart that I announce I will not be part of the Super Eagles squad participating in the upcoming France 2024 Olympics due to knee injury sustained during practice. While it deeply saddens me to miss this prestigious tournament, I am incredibly grateful for the love and support I have received from my club, FC Regina, and my teammates, which ensured that my operation was stress-free. To my fellow Super Falcons, I wish you the best of luck as you represent Nigeria on the global stage. Your hard work and passion will undoubtedly shine through, and I have complete faith in your abilities to achieve great success. I will be cheering for you every step of the way and will be back soon stronger than ever. Go Super Eagles." Ayinde was one of the 5 midfielders listed for the summer event, the other being Deborah Abiodun Christie Uchebe, Jennifer Kejibe, and Tonya Payne. So this is so much for her, and I'm sure she's super sad not being able. She has so much potential, doing super great for her team side, helping them win matches when needed. So we have other players who can also represent and then probably take her space, but now it's left for Randy Wardron to be able to figure out who would be her replacement. Yes, he picked out 5 midfielders. Now we have 4. So we wouldn't want to do try and error. So we need a replacement to have a complete pack of 18 players. So these are what we are looking out for. And then we hope Randy Wardron makes a perfect and then make a very, very good selection for her replacement. So on that note, I'll be taking you all the way down to the US, where Israel Adesanya gets ready for his matchup against. We'll be right back. When I go on a quick break, or would bring you those details of information. Do stay with me. I'll be right back.
Hello, children. Gather around, let me tell you a story. Do you know that stories have a way of captivating the minds of children, bringing fun and imagination to teach them morals? Join Sharon Ajay as she takes you to explore the thrilling and exciting world of storytelling.
I'll be sharing with you our next interesting story.
Tune in every Saturday on Global Television, time 5:30 p.m.
Is the desk on Global Television.
Nigeria. Come join Anthony Momadou on television's most compelling and facts-finding talk live show.
We are definitely. Can we not say that them because
that this country gets it right?
It's the Dex on Global Television, where we analyze and dissect storming issues and commentaries in the world's biggest black nation, Nigeria.
Who is being held accountable for this money?
The eyes have it.
We stay and decide policies and reforms on the Dex. Tune in Mondays to Fridays, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Global Television. Let's stay on the Dex.
Global Morning.
Yes, many thanks for staying with me. Thank you for joining us on Talk Sports. Yes, yes, Talk Sports. So Israel Adesanya has knocked out middleweight champion Darius Dopales. The colonist mindset, claiming the South African is not one African, has built up as the UFC 5 main event in Australia on August 18th. As August 18th intensifies the anonymity between Del Pesco and Nigerian-born Adesanya stemmed from comments the South African made about Adesanya and fellow African UFC champions Usman Kamaru and Francis Ngannou over a year ago. During the impressive run to the middleweight title, Del Pesco said he wanted to become the first real African champion because he still lives and trains in South Africa. Meanwhile, Adesanya is based in New Zealand, where Usman and Francis Ngannou both live in America. Adesanya later confronted the Pelsos in a cage after the win over Rob Whittaker at UFC 290 in July last year, and their pair have been on a collision course ever since. Speaking to the court Sport in Sydney on Thursday, Adesanya explained why Del Pesco comments robbed him the way he is not of us, the way he tried to discredit me, Francis and Kamaru. It's like he's not one of us. You are... Yeah, so this has been something between Israel Adesanya and Del Pesco, who is a South African, and then he has been discrediting, and then so much has been going on between these two. He tends to say that because of the singular fact that he lives in South Africa, then that makes him more African than Francis Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, and Israel Adesanya. So this is totally, for Israel Adesanya, this is totally unacceptable, given the fact that he knows he is Nigerian. He is very, very true Nigerian. Francis Ngannou is a true Cameroonian, and then Kamaru Usman as well, who we know who hails from Edo State, is also a very true Nigerian and an African. So it's more like Israel Adesanya feels that this was more like a slap, and then he has a feeling that he needs to knock his teeth out to get him straight out. We are all Africans here, South Africa, wherever you live. It doesn't change the fact that you're living in America, New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, wherever, or France, you are still African. Where you live, your geographical location at that point doesn't really matter or tells about where you're from. But the real fact still remains that you're African wherever you go. So these guys have never, Francis Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, and Israel has never discredited the fact that they are Africans. So he was saying, this was what Adesanya was saying, it's like he's not one of us. You are not one of the three kings, Adesanya said. So Adesanya is never agreeing with the fact that he is an African because, one, he was not on before he won the championship. So now Israel Adesanya is set to, knock him down out of the canvas and not just snatching the title away, the middleweight belt title from him, but also letting him know that we are all Africans, and at the end of the day, it's sports. I know Israel is a very, very great guy, and they are going to shake it off after they must have finished beating each other up in the octagon. So UFC 309 is going to be coming up on the August 18th. So if you would be overseas, go and cheer and support. And obviously, trust me, Talk Sports will bring you details about the fight. Yes, still moving on, let's talk a bit about transfers now, and a very big one coming for Al Hassan. Al Hassan joins Awazi Onyemechi at Bovita. Former Aqua United midfielder Ibrahim Al Hassan has joined Portuguese side Bovita as their first summer signing. He signed a 2-year deal with the club following his expiration of his contract in the newly promoted Belgian side Beerschot, where he also fired them into the second division title at the end of last season. He was unveiled by the club on Thursday, 4 days after the expiration of his contract in Belgium. I am very happy signing for Bovita. For Bovita was an easy decision, firstly because I know how great the club is, and also because I have already played in Portugal, which I consider to be my second home. I am very excited about the challenge, and I can't wait to meet my new teammates. He started this adventure, the 27-year-old player said via the club's website. He now becomes the third Nigerian on the roster of Bovisa's next season, with Super Eagles defender Chidozie Awaze and Bruno Onyemechi already at the club. So this is going to be more like a reunion for these Nigerian players, because they've all been together in camps, but Al Hassan hasn't yet made it to play for the Super Eagles. Still talking transfers, Celtics ponder to Ndidi move. Gonzalo Celtics have now had a chance to act on their long-term interest in the former Leicester City midfielder Wilfred Ndidi, as the Nigerian has become a free agent this summer. Yes, so back in 2021, Ndidi was linked with some of the greatest clubs in Europe on the back of the standout performance for Fox in Premier League, and was believed to be valued by Leicester at £52 million. Now, after a season in the Championship, the Nigerian midfielder is searching for a new club as he departs the Fox following the conclusion of his contract. Reuniting with his old manager Gonzalo in one part that Ndidi could take, with 27-year-old attracting interest from Celtics and Brendan Rodgers rejoining the club at the summer. Ndidi was signed by Leicester in 2017 from Belgian side Greek and played under the current Celtics boss for 4 years, enjoying FA Cup success during his time. Speaking to Leicester Mercury when he joined to Fox after his first stint in charge of Celtics, Roger praised Ndidi for his creativity. He's obviously a player that's got good athletics ability and works very, very hard. So hard work pays at the end of the day. So Ndidi now is on his way to Celtics, hopefully, because they are keen. They have been on this case for the past 3 years. But do I think he should move all the way to Celtics is a great team, no doubt, but one thing again is it's going to take him away from the media, and lots of eyes will not be seen on him. I don't know why he decided not to extend his contract with Leicester, obviously probably because he's open for new challenges. So he has won the Premier League in Leicester, won the FA Cup as well, he's also gone to the relegation zone, came back, and then he was able to put out top flight and help Leicester win the championship this concluded season. So we are hoping to see him take a decision, and then we'll see where he's going to go to, probably Everton, because Barcelona are also rooting to get Wilfred Ndidi. So we wish you all the best as you make plans to, start off your new career wherever you choose to do that, Mr. Wilfred Ndidi. So moving on, let's go all the way to Germany, where Euros 2024 quarterfinals kickstart off battle. Yes, there's going to be a very, very great battle in Germany. Yes, it's the Germans against the Spanish. Like they always say, when it rains in Spain, it pours. And now it's going to be a battle between two wonder kids. Yes, two wonder kids, talking about Yamal and Musiala. Musiala, who is 21, and then Yamal, who is 18 years of age. So these two kids will be going head to head. Most of them, it is said, arguably, that these two young lads are the backbone of each side. That is Yamal being the backbone of the Spanish side and Musiala being the backbone of the German side. These two guys are the futures, and we will tend to see probably a kind of Ronaldo and Messi rivalry between these two players. But let's see what happens as Euros kickstarts. One of them still yet to boarding school and to his homework to the Euros, while the other only moved out of mom's house recently. Yamil Yamal, 16, and Jamal Musiala, 21, have both combined age of 37, which is less than the age of their oldest national team, Manuel Neuer and Jesus Navas, who are both 38 years, yet they are arguably posed the key to Spain and Germany's respectively chance of winning the tournament. In Friday's quarterfinal, which will be the dub at the final, a real final of Euros 2024 by many in Germans, the pair will go head-to-head to the biggest game of their young career. Nicknamed Bambi for his remarkable dribbling ability, Musiala revealed pre-tournament that he was no longer Bambi, saying he has grown out of it and has more than that. This is their third major tournament, while Yamal is his first, having becoming the Spanish youngest ever to play at least at 15. but both their teammates admit that they are in the presence of something special when it comes to technical abilities. So it's just so much, because the whole team now, it's like rooting for them to be able to, reach that goal and then be able to carry the team help. Like I always say, this is going to be a real test for Germany, because narrowly Germany escaped to get to this qualification stage. Now Spain, on the other hand, has been on fire all through this Euro 2024. So now it's going to be a final before the final, and this final will be happening today. This quarterfinal will be happening today, which is a pre-final, because it's actually going to be very tough, because these are two giants. We all know what happens when Spain are ready to play, and we also know when the Germans are also ready and willing to play. They tend to come out very, very strong and very aggressive. So let's see how that pans out as these two giants get to meet each other. Still speaking Euros, Gareth Southgate to drop 3 at the back on his England plays for the Euro 2024 quarterfinal against Switzerland. If I can bring it to your notice, as of yesterday, I was trying to inform you that he was having plans to change the formation. Now he's looking to play 3-5-1 ahead, 3-5-2 ahead. Let's see how that pans out against Switzerland. And for him to be able to qualify to get the 2-1 win against Slovakia, they were able to use that 3-5-2 formation. So 3-5-2 formation now, let's see how that plays out for England. I'm not sure this is the right time for Gareth Southgate to gamble switching a 3-man defense out of the fear of the Swiss. Enrique Carnasso plays for Aston Villa, who is not used to a back three. Louis Young for Brighton, who don't. Joe Gomez for Liverpool, who don't. Kyle Walker and John Jones for Manchester City, who don't. Albert, who could argue that Pep Guardiola sending a man into midfield sees them flirt with that formation, and that is because you get to the optimization for wing back from Bukayo Saka to Kieran Trippier to Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is no doubt that Switzerland have looked like a better functioning team than England at Euro 2024. They beat Italy. They almost defeated Germany. Southgate may be confident that if we switch our system to concrete to Swiss, we can beat them man for man. So this is just a challenging factor that the England team, that is talking about the players now, this has been their complaint all through the season, that the formation is not suitable for them, and they are not always playing in their natural positions. Not just one, not just two, not just three, both the attackers, the midfielders, and the defenders. Like they are always in a no man's land, and then they tend to struggle. Why didn't Gareth Southgate just stay on the formation which England are used to, which is a 4-3-3 formation? This 4-3-3 formation is going to help these players play in their natural role and be able to help the team win. But Gareth Southgate kept doing try and error, and making the players look as if they are not performing. We still have Jude Bellingham, who is still under investigation. There might be a chance that rumors reaching us that there might be a chance that he might not be featuring because of the X-rated award celebration he did when he scored a goal against Slovakia. So John Jones breaks silence on Gareth Southgate's plan to switch to a 3-man defense. Now, a whole lot of persons have concern, not just Phil Foden, not just Jude Bellingham, not just Harry Kane. All of these guys have concern. Now, finally, John Jones is speaking up. John Jones says England will have no problem transiting to a back three with Gareth Southgate. Dealing the change for tomorrow's quarterfinal against Switzerland, it was at the last European Championship 3 years ago that Southgate switched a 3-man defense for the 2-0 victory over Germany in the last 16. He used it again in the final versus Italy. England have so far been playing with a 4-3-2-1 here in Germany, but with the performance poor and centre-back Marcus Guerini suspended, a change this may have been work on training this week. If so, Stones would be the central defender charged with organizing the new look unit, and he believes it won't be big of a week as he thinks. We've done it in previous tournaments before, though he said Germans, I remember, at the last Euros previously, so that's 2018 at the World Cup. So this is what he is saying. He's looking confident that they could be able to pull off a win against the Switzerland. These Switzerland's attackers are very, very swift and very, very fast. So he is going to be coordinating from what the formation looks like, from what they've been doing during training. But now it's the quarterfinals. It's not the qualifying stages. Can they pull this through? He is confident that that would happen, but others now, Kyle Walker and the rest of the others, are saying they don't see it happening. Now, how would they get in shape and then get their mentality ready to see that this is going to be possible? They shouldn't. It's looking as if there's trouble in paradise for England, because one, it's looking as if they are not all in synergy, because some persons are agreeing with the formation and some persons are not agreeing. But Saturday is around the corner, and then we'll see what will happen against Switzerland and England. Manchester United, moving on now. Let's go all the way to Old Trafford, where Manchester United make another key change of their coaching team as New England takes shapes after Erik ten Hag is backed with contract extension. Erik ten Hag is wasting no time to reshaping Manchester United's entire backroom staff in his image after hiring goalkeeping coach Jonathan Rwanda from Burnley. The Rwanda has been hired to work with United keepers Andre Onana, Arteta Brenner and Tom Hampton ahead of the new season. The move signifies Ten Hag's new lease of life as United manager after being handed a contract extension until 2026. So that's a one-year extension, and it's expected more change to the squad and staff are on the horizon. Then the Rwanda switch has not been without his hurdle. However, with the Dutchman's originally expected to sign for Ajax 2 months ago, the switch has been in limbo since the departure of Burnley's former manager Vincent Kompany, who joined Bayern Munich in a shock move last month. So this is that for Erik ten Hag. He's beginning to get his house in order to see what is going to happen. Now, he has issues. Obviously, we all saw how awful Andre Onana was this past season, but now he has gotten a coach who he feels would be able to manage and then handle that situation. So let's see what happens and then pounds out with the new goalkeeping coach for Manchester United. Still on Erik ten Hag's one-year contract extension at Manchester United. Manchester United have given Erik ten Hag a one-year contract extension till June 2026. The club has announced the Dutchman has been in talks with United over a new deal after co-workers decided to keep him in charge for following and the end of season review. The new contract on the exciting team indicates that the increasing support for Ten Hag from leadership team, and including new sport director Dan Ashworth and technical director Jones Warlocks. Talks are continuing with Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ryan Hank over becoming his new assistant at the Old Trafford. Ten Hag, who has 1 year left on his existing contract, said, "I am very pleased to reach an agreement with the club to continue working together." So this is the good news. And then finally, I think Erik ten Hag now would have a very good night's sleep before he gets into work, because he has been jittering and he has been on his toes to know what his future lies. But if he hadn't worked out with Manchester United, he would have, found his way to Ajax, because Ajax are actually rooting, and then they were hoping they can get and land him to come be the coach. So now Erik ten Hag has so much to do. He has a lot on his plate, but for now, I would say get a very good night's rest before you go back to Old Trafford and get busy with work. So now let me take you all the way to boxing, where one man, Ryan Garcia, is expelled from the WBC by the President Mukacho Suleiman after the series of racial slurs on social media. Ryan Garcia has been expelled from the World Boxing Council by the President Suleiman after posting a series of racial slurs on social media. It comes after another day of troubling social media activities from the 25-year-old American, in which he posted the the N-word. He posted the N-word, made disappearing comments about Muslim, and made references to sex trafficking and pornographic. Garcia, 25th, is currently serving a year-long suspension from the New York State Athletic Commission after testing positive for PED or Australian before his dominant upset over Dervin Hearn on April 20th at Barrows Center. Suleiman posted on X on Thursday night, exercising my authority as the president of WBC. I am hereby expelling Ryan Garcia from any activities with our organization. We reject any form of discrimination. I fear for Ryan's well-being, as he has declined multiple attempts for our help with mental health issues and substance abuse. This is something that has been going on for a very, very long time in the life of Ryan Garcia, and he is refusing help. So this is kudos from the WBC president for taking a swift action, because there is obviously no room for racism in sport. On that note, this is how much time will permit me to bring to you on today's edition. Yes, so you have an amazing weekend ahead. Have a sportsful event, have a sportsful weekend, hydrate yourself, stay healthy, and as much as possible, try to stay out of trouble. Do have a very great weekend ahead. I'll see you Monday. My name is Samuel Odi. Bye for now.